Scorpios, hello, hello, my loves. Welcome to Vivid Vibration. My name is Christina. I hope that y'all are doing well. Scorps, y'all have Alithia and the Healer, the Bridge, the Forest, the Poet, and Gnosis. Well, I guess I want to put Alithia and Gnosis together because, Alithia is like the big T truth, right? Like there are all of the little T truths that exist because we all have our own perspectives, we all have our own experiences, we all have our own truths of something, right? The big T truth is that like the truth that embodies all of the other truths, right? It's like the ultimate truth, the truth that none of these other truths can really argue, right? But this is something that we uncover, right? Because we uncover truths in life in general, but it's cyclical learning, right? You uncover this truth. You come into an understanding. And when you understand others, you understand yourself because as independent of a nation, of a society, of a, world that we exist in, we still work within the same energies, right? We still encounter the same issues, right? One of the things that I love about studying different cultures, different societies, different religions, different philosophies, and the people who embody these things is the diversity, and yet like the similarities across the board, right? There's so much beauty in the diversity of each of these perspectives and each of these groups of people and each of these ideas or teachings, whatever, But when you're able to really like pull from the collective of it all, you can find a truth that is the heart of something that resonates across the board and prevents like these walls of division where it's like my way or the highway, and this is the only way you can believe, and this is the only way you can live, and this is the only da 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 da, like calm down world, like deep breath. But I feel like there is an idea here of really just uncovering a truth for you, however that resonates for you. And then you have the bridge, the forest, the poet, and the healer. And I just kind of feel like there's a direction that you're taking that you haven't taken it before. You're not. The idea of the forest is that it's a path that hasn't yet been traversed. It does also come with a warning that there are friends and enemies alike, so be careful. And then the question always follows, if it's something that's never been traversed, how can you have friends and enemies? It's never been traversed by you. And what you're going across is something that's new to you. But I think that it's a direction that you're taking because somehow you've uncovered a truth that almost feels like it releases you. It sends you in a direction that enables you to really heal through understanding. Because it's the ego that says, I'm wrong or they're wrong or whatever. You know what I mean? Like that's the ego, but the ego isn't what controls you. The ego rears its head and is like peeks up and says, "Hey, what's up? What's good?" You know what I mean? But I feel like there's a truth behind all of this awareness that you're uncovering that's sending you in a direction that is bringing healing to you because it's allowing for you to create a picture of understanding. However that resonates for us individually. Because it'll resonate differently for everyone. Okay. Scorps. Hope everyone's doing really well today, having a lovely day. Okay, Scorps. We have the Seven of Wands, the Two of Pentacles, the Ten of Pentacles, the Queen of Swords, the Four of Cups, the Seven of Wands, the Eight of Wands, and the Six of Cups. Well, I mean, the truth, the Queen of Swords is like no bullshit. Like, calls it for what it is, doesn't fuck around with it, you know, like I do. I have two tarot, like, well, they're not tarot cards, but they're like the bullfightress and then the high priestess. Because the Queen of Swords and the high priestess have always been my cards. Fun fact about me. But the Queen of Swords is somebody who embodies that truth, right? That level of truth, that level of understanding that I think enables you to really go. And yes, these are gender neutral. You can be on either side of the story. Take what resonates for you, how it resonates, because yeah, all of the things I just said. But anyways, there's a truth that really enables you to just kind of take the good and go in a new direction. Because I feel like the truth is, like, as long as you're going in the direction that you're meant to go in life, you're going to experience different things. You're going to meet new people. You're going to really connect with some and not so much with others. And that's not a thing against you. You know what I mean? And I feel like sometimes we live in a culture that really is kind of obsessed with the idea of love, but not really like the reality of what that entails. And I don't even mean that in terms of just relationships. I mean that in terms of families and friends and everything else, you know, because like some people's idea of loving others is just blindly turning an eye to all of their bad qualities and obsessing over their good ones and then being out of balance. And it's just very unhealthy and toxic, whether that's with family or friends or lovers. You know what I mean? Like, insert any of those things, because as above, so below. And if you're experiencing it in one area of your life, you're going to experience it in every other area of your life too. So you have to start recognizing, like, where is my direction? Where is my truth leading me? And I feel like your truth leads you right on into some like massive abundance. I mean, this is just, well, I feel like in a lot of ways, it's taking all of the trials and tribulations that we've experienced and that however long we've been experiencing it, you know what I mean? And turning it into something. I just feel like turning your pain into art. Because otherwise, why? Right? But I feel like this opportunity really sends you in this direction very quickly. Because again, I just don't feel like you have a whole lot of time to think about it. I just feel like there's this truth, this revelation, this direction that you're sent in, and this like immediate, it feels almost like one of those, like if I told you how long it took me to get to this level, you know, like all of the overnight stories that you hear about, but like then you watch the documentaries and it's like, no, they've been doing this shit for like 10 years before anything happened with it. You know what I mean? It has kind of that feel to it, because it's like, what's blocking my blessings? What's keeping me from experiencing this abundance? And how is it that I can deal with like whatever it is that needs to be dealt with, whether it's relationships or jobs or projects or, you know, like all of the things, because it's all of the things, right? The big T truth embodies all of the things. So, Scorps, your last read was the idea of like traveling light. I feel like that's a thing still. Yeah, well, I know. I am preparing to lighten the load. Nervous, but I'm stoked, but like nervous. Okay. Four of Wands, Four of Cups, Seven of Pentacles, Strength, Ace of Pentacles, Nine of Swords, Eight of Swords, the Hanged Man, the Lover, the Nine of Cups. Well, I mean, this is just kind of the idea of always feeling like you're missing out, right? Like the grass is always greener on the other side of the fence. But I think for a lot of us, we haven't really felt that way. I feel like for a lot of us, it's been more one of those things where people want to tell us that the grass is greener on their side of the fence, and we're just kind of like, agree to disagree. you know, I'm gonna need to protect myself from that. So I don't think that that's really true. you know, like that's not a big T truth. And I feel like maybe it did take some strength to really work on what it is that we've been working on when other people were telling us that like where our focus wasn't right. Like you're not doing the right things. You're not doing it in the right way. You don't really know what you're doing, right? And just feeling like I'm growing life here, gender neutral, but anybody who's worked on anything, whether you've started a business or like built a project or whatever, like that's your baby. Like that's the life that you created. And I just kind of feel like when we create life, we are very protective of it, like a new parent who's like, just like wanting like to make sure that like nothing touches this, like this precious, I don't know, it just feels like this precious opportunity. Because I feel like whatever this opportunity is, it really does. I mean, you've got the Four of Wands, the Lovers, the Hanged Man. Well, because I think like if you're working on a project with a group of people, like if you have somebody that you're working with who's just really difficult to work with, and you feel constantly like you're just like, I would be so much better off working with somebody else because I wouldn't feel like this all of the time. You know what I mean? Just kind of like, I feel the need to protect myself in this scenario, which means that I feel the need to go in another direction, which means that when you go in this other direction, I feel like what you're experiencing is a sense of justice around what it means to work with people. Because when you work with the right people, I just think things take off quickly. Because who has time to sit on abundance? We trying to unlock that shit. Okay, Scorps. Oh, goodness. Okay. Ace of Wands. Well, I mean, you have the Ace of Wands, the Ace of Pentacles, Three of Cups, Nine of Cups, Temperance, Knight of Wands. Well, there's definitely a new beginning. And this doesn't feel like a relationship to me. It feels like an opportunity, like a project or, like something that really just expands your art in some way, shape, or form. However that resonates for you, because I've got Scorpios who are healers and tarot readers, and I've got Scorpios who are artists, like painters, and I've got Scorpios who are musicians and whatever, like I've got a lot of Scorpios in my life. But there's definitely an end with the things that you felt like you needed to protect yourself from. You've come into balance with yourself. And I think because you've come into balance with yourself, you're able to really start connecting with the beginnings that are meant for you, and work with people who give you a whole new perspective on what it means to work with other people. Because I just feel like you've been feeling a little over it. This stone. Yeah, because whatever it is that you're bringing healing to, whatever this Healer and the poet. It's something that you're anchored in. It's something that you've spent a lot of time developing. It's something that I just feel like I have such an intimate knowing of the vision that I have for my life, that anybody who doesn't fit that vision will just fall to the wayside, and that's okay, because we need visionaries who are dedicated enough to not get sidetracked by dumb bitches. Right, though? That's real. That's real. And I just I feel like whatever it is that you're going toward it because you're anchored. Like it's aligned with you, and you know that it's aligned with you because you feel anchored in it. It brings healing to like the voice of your art, because when you're expressing your art to people who don't connect with it, it creates a massive disconnect that leaves you feeling like, am I even doing the right thing? And I feel like what you're shifting somehow, I feel like you're shifting the people you're working with. And I feel like it's paying off for you in a really big way. I just kind of feel like know your audience, marketing 101. We know this. Know your audience. Who is it that you're trying to reach? And make sure that you are focused with your vision and aware of your audience. Be mindful of your triggers, because if there's something that really bothers you about a group of people, then allow for that mirror to show back to you what it is that bothers you about you, and release the people, right? And gratitude and blessings to those people, not because they've triggered you and you don't like them, but because they've mirrored something back to you that you needed in order to remove a blockage to go toward the vision that you are holding on to, that you will achieve, right? And I love that, Scorpios. I love everything about it. I hope so very much that this does resonate with you. If it does, please do give me a like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you all again soon. Bye.